Hello and welcome to the Crafty Cauldron. Today I have another flip through for you, and this one's going to be a long one because this journal is huge. This is the biggest journal that I have made to date, which, well, isn't saying much because I've only been making journals for about 9 months. First of all, you're probably going to hear some little noises in the background. We're doing laundry, and, I live with people and pets. Well, my husband. Choose your category. Anyway, okay, so here is the journal. It is called The Gentleman, and it was created with men in mind, or a man in mind. It is a 3-inch spine. It's really, really big. It has about 100 pages. Between 96 and 100, depending on how you count your pages, and that is back and front. So it's got plenty of writing space, and that does not include tags, flips, etc. Okay, so first of all, it's 9x6. The cover fabric is a vintage corduroy with gold threading in it, and the closure is parts of 2 vintage ties sewn together. So, and it holds quite well, and you don't have to keep this on here. This is just what I'm using. I thought it looked really nice with the black and gold. So there you have that. Okay, so also I have added some book corners here at the top and bottom of the back and front covers because I believe in protecting what's precious to you, and that will help. So inside the front cover we have, oh, and this is minimally decorated. It doesn't have a whole lot of stuff in it, not a lot of sewing like with some of my journals, but it's got a lot of little historical reminders and things in it. So let's see if I can keep this in frame. Okay, front cover, I have 2 small file folder pockets with gussets, so you can actually put more in there than what you see. This has a little fold down journaling spot and a little notebook made from Coca-Cola wallpaper and just some offcuts. And so that's there. In this pocket we have a couple of playing cards, but on the back there are envelopes that you can unfold all the way and journal in. So that is more journaling space. And like I said, there's a lot of room in these little file folder thingies because I put gussets on the sides. Okay, first page. This is from a book that I have, and then we have these 2 little labels from a store on Etsy called String and Scissors. She does this whole kit is really cool. It's full of little labels, train luggage tags, train schedule thingies, and it's really neat. So we've got 2 pockets here, this big one and this short one, and then a vintage postcard copy, and this has a pocket in the back, but it's what I've printed out is what was really on the back. So you've got a little bit of history there, and oh, the date on that is 1935. So then we have like it's a little tag here for journaling on the back, and a picture of a man and woman kissing. Like, I think he's going off to war, so it's probably for World War I. So then we have next page. This, a lot of journaling space in this, a lot of blank, and I went to my husband for a lot of advice on this because, well, I'm not a guy, so I wanted to know what he thought. Oh, and one more thing too, the 3-inch spine, it's the stitching, the binding stitching is out in the open. It's a 4 pamphlet book, and it's a 5-hole stitch. I'm sorry, a 4 signature book. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here we have a little bit of, there's a bicycle there, just a little decoration, and parchment copy paper, a copy of a ledger sheet on coffee stained paper, and I stain my own pages. I stain my own coffee stained paper and dyed paper. I do that all myself. So if you only knew how much paper I have to work with. Oh my. Okay, so here we have vintage notebook paper, a piece of vintage stationery. This is from the 70s. Yes, and I've had that in my stash. I just have taken it everywhere I've moved. Franken paper with stained paper, and some of this is stained with watercolor pigment and black walnut powder. This is 100% cotton stationery, and that is new. So this is a little die cut that I got in a Happy Mail, and I wanted to use it somewhere. This looked like the perfect place to use it. A giant journaling card back with coffee paper, and then a picture of a trolley. Oh, a copy of a picture of a trolley, but it's a vintage photo. And this has some interesting stuff in it. The coat tag, it says 6-cord spool cotton. Oh, I'm sorry, it's for thread. JP Coats. This is a vintage looking playing card. Another copy of a trolley photo, and then this is a page from a a card from a vintage game. Wow's words today. Oh my gosh. Oh, so coffee stained paper, and then this is a page from a book about colonial living. It's not quite out of copyright, so I had to use it, but the page is quite brittle, and I reinforced it with micropore or surgical tape. And then it's got, on one side, it's got a plantation wharf picture, and in the inside it talks about plantations and rolling tobacco and stuff like that. It's really cool. Then this has got a gentleman bending over a lady's hand, and looks like he's going to kiss her hand. That's from an old 1800s history book that I have. So if I say history book, that's the one I'm talking about. So we've got an altered paper clip right here, and I altered that using Tim Holtz stuff. Then we've got this little floating pocket here. It's just paper clipped on, and inside we've got a journaling tag, vintage sheet music, Franken paper with coffee paper, more Franken paper. Oh, sorry, that is because that is the center of the signature where you can see the 5-hole pamphlet stitch. Then we have the back side of all of those papers, vintage notebook paper, and then coffee stained paper. And this is just a textile tuck, well, paper and textiles, and a picture of an airplane. This is a coffee stained paper with a little tuck in it, and a writing journaling card that I made using a Russian encyclopedia or dictionary page. And I had to glue it on because it was just so brittle. And then another label from String and Scissors and a Capillium clock. And I will put these in the description, so don't worry about that. Back side of the stationery, the back side of the vintage notebook paper, and then the back side of the copy of the ledger. And look at that writing, isn't that gorgeous? And the paper is coffee stained paper, just makes the most wonderful sound. More writing space, a lot more writing space, and signature number 2. This is a ledger that I've inked, and vintage notebook paper. This is a pocket that I made from a cutout from a book. I fussy cut this out, and then it was this whole thing, but I cut it in half and I glued this onto the page so it would be the back of my pocket. Then I have a dictionary page tag, and card catalog card, and this is hemp. The string is hemp. Back side of that page, and this is parchment colored copy paper, and this is rice paper that's been coffee stained. It's very durable. I love the feel of rice paper because generally, I mean, the ones that I have, they have a rough side and a smooth side. It's really neat. Dictionary page, it's been coffee stained. Trying to stay in frame here. Coffee stained, and then another floating pocket, and on this pocket I've created an altered paper clip that's got a pocket on it and a little tag in there for journaling if you want it, but it's got a pocket here that's empty, so you could put notes in there, and it goes right down in there. The back side of that page has some airmail stuff, and this is from Nick the Booksmith. This is a page, a giant journaling tag I created, and the splotchiness you see is beeswax. Just thought it looked really old that way. Back side blank, and there's textiles and extra stuff here from the places I have already mentioned. This is from my personal stash. It's a copy of a picture from my personal stash. It's a trolley. And then we have braille paper, and it feels so delicious. It's very old. Then a picture from the history book, journaling tag, backed with coffee paper, and another journaling tag that is quite thick. You can use it as a bookmark as well, or you can put it under a page for a small writing board. And then this one is a corner tuck made out of little labels from Nick the Booksmith, and more from String and Scissors. Little journaling card. Just some decoration here with jute braid, and on vintage notebook paper, the parchment copy paper. This is a little pocket full of like pictures of what might be someone's family, and the next page will show you why I did this. So we've got this trolley picture, and then this looks like a group of family members, and crazy ones maybe, but hey, we all have them, right? And then this is a guy standing on a street looking at a trolley. It's a double-decker trolley. It's really cool. And those all go in this pocket here. And the reason why I put so many pictures of maybe what might be family is because the center of the signature is it's a family tree page, and this is from my baby book, so it's vintage, just like me. And it was two pages, and I stitched it together, so it's got a little separation in the middle. I'm not really good at that, but it looks pretty good, and it's on coffee stained paper, and the greenish part of this is the black walnut. So if you have, like, if you see there's like some greenish little features, those are from black walnut powder. Parchment copy paper, and then a pocket with a little journaling tag, and this one is supposed to be a woodcut of Milton. History book on that. Then we have vintage notebook paper and a picture from, it's a book about our century. Giant journaling tag with a copy of one of my old report cards, and that's backed with textured cardstock, and it's got lines in it. It's got horizontal lines in it, as you see. So here's that. And there's more braille paper. That's the other side of the page that we already saw. And a pocket. This giant journaling tag here is actually a little flip-up notebook. And it is, that page is from Crafty Cat's kit. Can't remember which kit, but if you go, it's Vintage Ads. If you go on her Etsy, you'll find it. And then this is String and Scissors, and I made it into a little journaling tag with brown card craft paper, and there's a wooden bead on it with hemp. More parchment copy paper and coffee stained, and a dictionary coffee stained, and more rice paper. And then this is a giant journaling tag as well with craft paper and an altered paper clip here. And then this here is part of an index from a floral field guide. Here's the back. I left the little label blank so you can put whatever you want there. And then this is a flip out. This flip out has it says Townhouse of a Rich Salem Ship Owner, and this is from the Colonial Living book as well. Then we have notebook paper, and this is a little journaling card notebook type of thing with the cardstock, textured cardstock, and then it's got the splotchy from the beeswax. Old ads that I found in a pair of 1960s go-go boots that has been in my closet, handed down in the family, believe it or not. This is from our history book, our century book. It's really cool. And then the ledger, and that's the end of the second signature. Third signature, coffee stained paper, and then a flip out here. This little pocket has a couple things in it. It's got, this is just a little envelope, but it's blank on the inside, but on the outside it's from some negatives that I did in photography class in college, and the negatives didn't come out so well because I didn't have them in the little canister right, but that's okay. This is a journaling card with some textile and coffee dyed paper, and then a bookmarkish thing with tuck, and there you go. And that all goes in there in this little pocket that looks like wood grain. This flip out is made from an envelope, and then it's got a little harness racing ticket thing in there, and that is also a copy, but it's vintage. And then we have some collage tags here, a collage tag, and then this tag is a dictionary page, and they just slide right inside there for more journaling space, or if you want to leave somebody a note. Then this craft paper here is from an old scrapbook, very old scrapbook. Coffee stained paper with a little pocket on the, this is from the Russian dictionary, and then a page with a clock and the textured cardstock. This is a map, a copy of a map. I put it on coffee stained paper. It's the metropolitan area of Halifax, and then on the back we have the Black Plague, tax-free property. So that's on coffee stained paper, so it looks really cool. More stained paper, vintage notebook paper, and then this is a pocket made from an old paper bag. This is a really cool paper bag too, and journaling tag that's been collaged and backed with coffee stained paper. And then in this pocket is a postcard, and it's got some writing on the back, and I'll leave that for you to read because it's kind of humorous. But the front looks like it's got like this gentleman standing there with a cane and stuff. It's kind of neat. Coffee stained paper, and then in this we have a flip tuck, so you can journal in there. A little blank envelope type of thing. Journaling card with an ad from a Sears catalog. That's a copy. I put it on some parchment. And then this is a copy of one of my postcards that's from my stash, and yes, that one has a pocket in the back as well, right here, and then it's got the correct backing on it, and this has a 1946 postmark on it, so the original was very old, just like the last one. More ledger paper, and then another floating pocket, and inside this one we have a calling card, copy of a calling card, and then an altered paper clip with a little collage thing on it with some hemp. And then this I threw in here. This is the back of the altered paper clip. My husband was like, oh, maybe that's her mistress. Yeah, you never know, you know. But that's from my personal stash. And then this is a card. I believe it's a time card. Accounts receivable ledger. It's been coffee stained. Copy of a ledger, old ledger, 1911, on some coffee stained paper. This is a journaling tag, and this is the second. This is the center of the third signature. And this is just blank on the inside for you to journal in, and that goes right on there. The back side of all this is kids art paper here, and then it's got two little pockets. Each pocket has a little Rolodex card that's not decorated, so you can use those for journaling. Ledger paper, and this is made from, I created these little bags myself out of coffee stained paper. This is a copy of an old letter, again from String and Scissors, and made it look old like that, grungied it up quite well. String and Scissors label, same here, but these are journaling cards. And then there's plenty of space to put more stuff. Behind the big one is a little pocket with an airplane picture, and that's been printed on parchment colored paper and inked. Coffee stained paper, the linen stationery. This is the notebook paper, coffee stained paper, and the back side of the maps right there. Then this is a little glassine envelope, and inside this we've got some interesting little things. This is another one of the Russian pages, and then this is a Doubleday Bookshops bookmark from, I don't know, the 60s maybe, 50s, 60s. It's really old, and it's wrinkled, and it's got its own aging colors. And then behind it there's another pocket, and I put just a small tag in there so you could journal on that, or just use it as a bookmark. Then in this is a little time card, and behind it we have a journaling card made from, this is another picture from an old history book that I have, backed with coffee stained paper, and then a little notebook made with the Russian encyclopedia, and inside there's just pages that are offcuts of coffee stained paper and vintage paper, and it's tied with a black ribbon through some eyelets. This is a collaged envelope pocket. It's floating. You can take this out, you can journal on the back, and then it's got collage made from stuff from all over the place. On the back of that we have a little fold out here and an ad from, I believe it's from the 60s, from a Canadian newspaper that a very wonderful person sent me, and I decided to take make copies of it so I could use it over and over again. Then we have a coffee stained map with a picture of a trout on it, or it might be a salmon. No, it's a trout. And then in this we have a, this is that old stationery, and a floating pocket held down by an altered paper clip, and then inside this pocket you can journal on the back, and there's a little envelope inside to journal on as well. And then this is a carp right there. So there's that. And then on this side we have another floating journal. It's like a heavy pocket. With inside the pocket we have some labels and an old, is it tracing paper? No, that's copy paper envelope. And then the altered paper clip has a little pocket inside of it, and inside that pocket there's a tiny little, it's like a ticket, and you can journal on that if you desire. More paper from the vintage notebook, and this is a page from Body Mind Spirit Shop. I think that's what it's called. I'll provide a link. And it's really wonderful dyed wax paper. It's really cool. Ledger paper, and then this is a fold-out thing with another fold-out that you can journal on, and then this is a page from a law book from a law case from 1881. The book is from, I don't know, the 30s or 40s, I think. This is a tuck with a little envelope in it, and you can write on the inside of that. It's blank. This is a copy of a ledger from 1911, again on some coffee stained paper, and on the back we have a double belly band. Inside that belly band we have a envelope, a picture of a trolley, and a very tiny envelope from Nick the Booksmith, which I absolutely love those. They're so cool. Vintage notebook paper, and then a collage with some ads and stuff. And these ads are some are from Crafty Cat, some are from my personal stash, and then some prescription from my personal stash. These are from, I think, the 50s. And then some more. It's just a bunch of ads from the book about our century. This is the kids' drawing paper from like elementary school drawing paper, coffee stained paper, and on that is the ledger. It's actually from 1902. I love the handwriting. It's just so cool. And we have some more little ephemera from String and Scissors, and a page from a rigging book. Thought it was kind of neat. The rigging book is from the 60s, and it's been bordered with some jute twine. It's glued on there as a border. This is from my personal stash, a cluttered desk that I'm working on. It's a cluttered desk collection with different types of text. So from an old speedball textbook. Then we have another picture of a wrecked trolley, which is kind of fun. There's a guy standing there going, what the heck happened? And then this is a journaling card. And this is a Coca-Cola wallpaper piece, and another journaling card made from dictionary. And this is the center of the last signature. I think I'm a little off here. Okay. And there's the other side of that. I printed it on some parchment colored copy paper. This is a little belly band here. And there's a piece of paper to write on inside of there, and I put a textile and paper collage with a dance ticket and a Denison label. But this is one of those airmail envelopes, and it flips open here. And inside we have a couple more playing cards and some of those blank inside envelopes that I made. This is from the old store ledger from 1911 or something. And then there's a pocket here, and this is from a public domain image. I downloaded and printed and put on this paper and tore around it, printed it on some parchment, so it looks really, really old. That's for journaling as well. Or, you know, you can send it to someone in an envelope. So that's the kids' art paper, notebook paper, vintage coffee paper. This is a little flip out. You can write on the back of that, and then I put some labels here, one of those little bags, and I created this tag to look like leather. It's actually paper and Mod Podge and stuff, Mod Podge and stuff. So put a little piece of cord on it so you'd be able to get it out of the envelope once you stuck it in there. It's really cool. The texture is amazing. So Franken paper, ledger paper, some more of that dyed wax paper, and then some more vintage notebook vintage stationery, and that is our last page. In the back, I have my stamp with my name, and then here we have, this is a vintage money clip, and it's quite heavy. I'm not sure if it is sterling or not. It doesn't have a sterling stamp, so it might just be steel, but it is vintage. It's probably from the, I don't know, 60s, I would guess. And then this is just a blank envelope that you can write on right there. So that goes there. And you can put that either way with the clip inside or outside. And then here's the back. Everything on the outside is quite plain. I've left the strings from the binding on the spine a little bit long. They're not longer than the book is, though. So you can trim those if you'd like. And that's it. That's it. It's quite a heavy book, so the shipping on this is going to probably have to be priority. But it's worth it. It's fast. It's fast and it's insured. So there we have it. My gentleman's journal. And I want to thank you for watching. Also want to thank all of my new subscribers. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for coming by and for subscribing. And I thank you, all of my existing subscribers. You guys rock. Without all of you, new and existing subscribers, I couldn't do what I do. I couldn't, you know, it wouldn't be worth it to me if you guys didn't want to watch. So there we have it. A really large journal called the Gentleman's Journal. This will be available in my Etsy store. The link to that is below this video. It'll be available in the coming week. I know it's a little late for Father's Day, but hey, I do what I can. It's sometimes very difficult for me to make a video, let alone publish a video because of health problems. So I'm sorry. I do what I can, like I said. So I've got more coming up for you, a couple of tutorials. Please keep your eyes open. Please subscribe. I thank you for that. And click the little bell, click all, and you will get notifications whenever I add new content. Doesn't mean you have to watch it, but these subscriptions absolutely help. That way I can do more with my YouTube channel, and I can do more for you, because, for example, one of the things that you can do when you get 1,000 subscribers is live stream from your phone, which means that I could take my phone outside and in my garden or wherever, and I could live stream from there instead of doing it from my desk all the time. And that would be awesome and a lot of fun for you guys too. So take care, peace, love. And remember, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Make it a happy, crafty, and colorful one. Thank you for watching. Everybody, stay safe, stay well. I'll see you soon.